We are in the middle of another hot trading week already, but I want to let you guys know that this is going to be a shortened trading week because on Wednesday, the United States financial system is slowing down, coming to a stop. There will be no trading on the NASDAQ or the New York Stock Exchange in honor and celebration of Juneteenth. Now, I know because I've talked with folks, there are some folks that do not understand what that national holiday is. This is an event that has been around. It's actually been recognized as a holiday for a very long time, but it's come into more recognition here in recent years. And this was the celebration of the emancipation from slavery. And in particular, slavery had been abolished, the decrees had gone out, but there were people in different parts of the United States that were still trying to hold their brethren down. And so Union officers went into, I believe, Galveston Bay, Texas, to inform thousands of slaves that indeed they had been liberated. Now, I'm going to talk with you guys a little bit here about what emancipation means, because there are people who are still not emancipated because they have not received the knowledge of their freedom or the opportunity of their freedom. Now, we're going to celebrate Juneteenth. I'm celebrating Juneteenth on Wednesday because it is a second Independence Day. Now, I know there are some people out there that might think that the 4th of July and Juneteenth are somehow in competition. They are not. They are both days in which this country and the Americans within this country fought for and received freedom and emancipation. But like I said, there are people who are financially in slavery still today, and it's because they don't know the road to get out of their current financial situation. And that's what I'm going to be talking about today. We're going to be talking about paths to profit today. I'm going to be giving you guys some new charts, which will be money-making, informed charting analysis that I've done and prepared for you guys. We're going to look at the overall market. We got to take a brief peek at Tesla. I'm going to talk with you guys briefly about Nvidia, and we're going to hit some hot news stories. And at the end of this video, I've got a great announcement that I'm going to share with you guys today. Some of you guys already know what it is, but I'll get to that in just a minute. This is the Stocks with Josh show. I appreciate each and every one of you guys being here today. I thank you for hitting that like. It pushes the video out to more viewers, so just go ahead and like and subscribe to keep getting content. They call me the chart goat because I study those charts and I bring the insightful revelations to where the stock price might be going. And that's exactly what I'm going to be doing today. And I'm going to draw out, this is going to be educational. We're going to be looking at three factors. These are the three factors that we derive the truth of direction from the markets and from these stocks. And it's going to be three things: price, volume, and momentum. Guys, the price tells you the trend. It tells you whether stock is going up or down. And the volume tells you at what level of a conviction people are buying or selling. And then the momentum tells you the speed of acceleration or decline. And we're going to break that down because the charts are absolutely giving us some strong indicators on all three of those fronts. Let's just start things off. There was an interesting news report today that talked about customer experiences are getting worse. Let me share that with you guys. I'll keep it very simple. We've got inflation, stagflation, shrinkflation. We've got junk fees, and you're going to do the entire thing while tipping everybody a minimum of 20%. They don't even show you the 15 or 18% at some of these transaction points. And what is happening with all of those raised prices that are getting out of control that everybody is feeling? People are simply getting worse service. They're not getting better service for paying the higher price. Except for one shining light in this report that stood out to me like a big old beautiful thumb, and that was Tesla. Tesla has significantly been working to bring up their customer service experience, and this article highlighted them as well as Chewy, that both companies were doing quite well to improve their customer service experiences. Now, with that good news in front of us, one of the questions that I've got to ask myself today is the worst technical news of the share price, which has been in decline ever since it hit $400, is the worst news or the worst price decline behind the Tesla shareholders? Or are we still in decline, and are we actually in the middle of a bull trap? Well, I'm going to dive you guys into the charts real quick on Tesla, and I'm going to show you exactly what I see. All right, guys, I put the emojis up on the screen, and here is the news for today. The news for today on Tesla is we are still going sideways. Price is still compressing, but I wanted to show some of these interesting technical patterns that we're in the middle of. We have a clearly defined double bottom right now, and because of that double bottom and that jump in price, we moved back into the channel that I've drawn for you guys, and we moved all the way back up and touched the top of the channel. But on the top end of the channel, we actually have a triple top. I mean, these patterns are fighting one another. So it's literally the war between the bulls and the bears on Tesla, and it's been undecided. Now, all throughout the day, guys, I've been watching this chart, and we've had, for a great deal of the day, an engulfing bullish green candle, but it keeps shrinking back. This is going to be the critical point that I want you guys to watch today. It's the closing price of today's candle. If we cannot close above $186.66, then we are simply doing what I said at the beginning of the video. We're just moving sideways between the military camp of the bulls and the bears. And so, but I will tell you, when it shifts and changes, it's right here at this 186.66 price. If we fail there and we go back and break back beneath 177, which you know has also been an important point, then expect that move down to 160 to come very, very quickly. But alternatively, if we can close today's candle or tomorrow's candle above 186.66, expect the move up to 206 in a heartbeat. The big news on Tesla is we are not out of the compression of price at the moment. Even though we had the very good news that Elon got his pay package approved, we're still perhaps waiting on some lower interest rates from the Fed because cars, the auto industry, is rate sensitive. Now, I wanted to highlight something else, and I'm going to keep this part very, very brief, but it's super important right now on Tesla. And that's that the FOMO machine is getting fired up. They've gassed up the FOMO machine. They're pulling the cord just to start the engine. And what is the FOMO machine on Tesla? Well, it's going to be Olympus robots. I have been seeing, now that that pay package has been approved, I've seen Elon out hitting the streets, starting to talk about how this company could become a $10 trillion company with robots. And I believe the AI robot narrative. I'm a believer. Now, I have to see it in the charts. So I'm not going to be buying based on the story. I don't buy stories. I buy price action in the charts. So we got to get above that 186.66 to get bullish on Tesla right now. I'm bullish long term. I'm accumulating. But as far as any short-term leverage plays, the trigger is right there at that 186, 187 line. And I'm going to tell you that when we do get back above 200, everybody's going to fall back in love with Tesla, and they're going to just want to be in it, and they're going to regret not buying it under $180. Now, personally, I am still believing that if we break down right now, the spot for me to load the boat is going to be 160, and it's going to be hard to buy 160 because of the fear. There's going to be some things that push it down. If it gets pushed down, I'm not predicting that. That's the bias I have been watching and waiting for, is a test, a swing low test. We don't have to get it, but if we did, that's where I'd be putting some new and fresh money in a bulk, couple bags to work on the table, getting some of those Tesla shares. In the meantime, I'm just buying it on a daily basis in fractional share amounts. Guys, you guys do you. Of course, this is not financial advice. And on that note, watch out for scammers who are pretending to be me in the comment section to give you financial advice. Okay, we're going to cut right to the S&P 500 because I want to leave some time for my announcement today. But before I do, let's just go over a simple fact I want to make super clear in this video. We are still in a bull trend. Matter of fact, only 1 week out of the last 8 weeks was the market red. Every other week, the other 7 weeks, including this week right now, the markets have been green. Matter of fact, last week we 3 times made an all-time high last week. Now, that's significant because I want to explain to you what that price action means when you make a continuous touching of the all-time high and you don't immediately flush or retreat, it means there's no sellers as we're moving higher. The market's not motivated to sell yet. And on that note, we've got Goldman Sachs coming out here today saying that they are pushing their high for this year from 5,500 to 5,600. Now, I personally love to watch how these big financial houses do a lot of revisions, and at the end of the year, they announce that they nailed it. That's okay. Sometimes I've got to make revisions as well, but I agree with them that 5,600 has come into focus. However, it's not a guarantee. Right now, my call is still 5,500, and I'll tell you what it is that I would need to see to believe that we're going to get to 5,600 on the SPX this year. We need to see a daily candle close and stay above 54.70, which we are destined to hit at the end of the week. Once we get that, then I'm going to say, okay, Goldman Sachs, you and I agree this market is going to 5,600. But here's the big concern, because remember, today we're talking about price, volume, and momentum. And the problem with the up move is it's on down volume. Now, I look at the SPX, which is the index to track the S&P 500. But if you take a peek over at the SPY, it's up again today on significantly less volume. Matter of fact, almost 50% less volume. Now, let's look at the SPX chart, and I'm going to remind you guys of what it is we're looking at and why it is important. Keeping it super simple, we've been in a beautiful and glorious uptrend, which is an ascending wedge, which will eventually break to the downside. We had a 6% correction back here in March, which was expected once we touched the top of this channel, and then we've touched the bottom a few times, and now we're right in the middle, slowly making our way back to the top of the channel. Now we are simply doing that on lower momentum. You can see that the price action above and the momentum below. So from the peak of months ago, we are in decline, even though price has been clearly moving higher. So even though we're in a beautiful bullish day and a beautiful bullish trend, we have lower volume, significantly lower volume, and we've got lower momentum on everything across the board. And so specifically the S&P 500, the QQQs, and of course, Nvidia, one of the best moving trades we've had. Nvidia has been doing well. It's been continuously making new highs. And let's jump real quick into the Nvidia chart. So Nvidia did start the day off a little higher. And what did it do? It actually touched the area of resistance as a target that I gave when we broke above 125 and hit 128. I said, guys, we will get to 134. We did. Now we've got to watch this 134 line for any form of a pullback. It wouldn't surprise me if we had a couple days of consolidation, but I think that as the market's moving higher, we do appear to be on a destiny of hitting 140. But here's the most important reason why I brought up the Nvidia chart, and that's to underline the problems that we've got with the other two factors. The only thing that we've got going for us is price. We don't have volume and momentum. Look at that volume decrease as the price of Nvidia has shot higher. So it's extremely important if you're in any of these trades that you have a long-term strategy. When are you going to take any profit? Are you going to put a stop loss in? It's okay to hold shares for decades, especially some of these top players, but you might consider hedging your position for a bigger turn down. I made a point to say that Nvidia will pull back 30% at the point in which these markets peak. So if we get to that 5,500 or that 5,600 on the S&P 500, that might bring Nvidia to that 140 target that I've given you guys. And if we do, then I would expect a 30% pullback from 140 all the way back to closer to 100, maybe 110, before this thing can pop again. Of course, I'll be with you the entire way. Guys, I'm going to leave it at that for now, but I've got the big announcement of my personal Discord, and I put a lot of time in this, and I'm launching it today. I'm going to put on the screen where you can go. There is a website that you can go to. It is the stockswithjosh.com. I'm going to have a link in the top pinned comment. This is going to be a great Discord. I've got a lot of cool things in there that I'm going to be teaching you guys. This is a pro trading community and heavily focused on education and charting so that you guys can get emancipated from your current financial situation, which more and more you know you need to become emancipated from. Independent, set free. Guys, that's what we're going to be doing together. I want you to check out that link. I'm going to be in there. It's going to be a day of celebration, and I just want to make a comment regarding the Stock Squad Patreon that I have unique and individual content that I'm going to be doing there, so don't feel the need to run from there over here. I'm also talking to the Stock Squad about putting in some really cool proprietary bots that can be found nowhere else, some trading technical tools for you guys over there. But today is the day to join the Chart GOAT University, the Stocks with Josh Patreon. So I'm going to leave it right there. Click on the link, check it out. Look forward to talking to you guys in there today. As always, thank you for the like. Hit that subscribe. Peace and blessings. We'll see you over there real soon.